I think Jack Black is one of the most entertaining human beings to ever grace our eyeballs. He brings a different type of energy you only see in a few actors. And this dude has a resume of bangers under his belt. School of Rock, Nacho Libre, Kung Fu Panda. And as a kid, he was like my favorite actor. I had like 3. It went Jack Black, Michael Cera, and Alexis Texas. In some ways, Jack is like a fictional character in most of his roles, like a video game character. So if for some reason you ever wanted to know what a Jack Black game would be like, you'd get Brutal Legend, a game I think was designed perfectly for him to star in. It's a game about a roadie, which if you don't know what that is, it's a crew member that travels with the band and helps set up stuff like equipment for shows. His name is Eddie Riggs, and he gets flattened by falling debris while at one of the shows, and gets brought back in time to an ancient land, where he fights demons with an axe and an electric guitar. So yeah, this game is technically an isekai. And I hate isekai. All my homies hate being in another world. Alright, I might like a few of them. This game was created by a dude named Tim Schafer, who also made Psychonauts. I heard that game was good. It was developed by Double Fine, which at the time was a part of the game company everybody loves, Activision Blizzard.
What?
Games like Guitar Hero were popping off, so when Tim pitched the idea for a rock-themed game, they were like, sure bud, here's a gazillion-dollar budget to license music and cast a bunch of rock stars to play characters in your game. Lemmy, Rob Halford, Ozzy Osbourne, and a bunch of other celebrity cameos too. I know it was a different time in gaming, but it still surprises me how he managed to pull this off. And what surprises me more is what Tim said about the game in an old interview. As long as you make a cool game, publishers want to talk to you.
What?
Is this nigga serious?
So yeah, after the game was completed, they got Jack Black to do a bunch of funny promo videos. They're basically a bunch of skits where he tries to convince us to buy the game. And in one of the videos, he says that one slur word that people call me sometimes when I play Call of Duty.
What they are saying to me is not true. I am good at this game. I am not a noob. I did not just get pwned. I eat food, not I am not I am not a
Huh?
My mother is not a and she did not use a bag of big to make her on Saturday night. Now, if that affirmation doesn't work for you, just be the first one to buy Brutal Legend and play the out of it all the time. So then when someone online calls you a mean name, just crush them. Take them to Brutal Legend school. It'll ruin their fun and make you feel really, really good. And that's what online gaming's all about.
See, Jack wasn't always this family-friendly dude. In 2006, he made this underrated movie called Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, which has this iconic scene where he does a push-up with his dick and calls it a cock push-up.
What?
I was talking about it on stream, and I think everyone thought I made that shit up.
What other workouts can I do? Can I do like do a couple cock ups? I lay flat down on my table, get rock solid, do a couple.
Besides this, they filmed the game's intro, which in my opinion, I think is one of the best video game intros ever.
Yes!
Here it is. Okay. You sure you're ready for this? Because what I hold in my hand is not just gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your soul. Go ahead. Open it. If you dare.
Alright, so I'm about to give a brief summary of the game. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, so there won't be any story spoilers. So after Eddie gets mushed to death, he awakens in the past, in an ancient metal land with demons everywhere. The first thing he does is grab an axe, and a guitar, and a bad bitch named Ophelia.
Oh man, don't tell me I've been slaying hot girls this whole time.
She explains to him that the land is being overtaken by demons, and the remaining humans are at war against them. But Eddie is too worried about showing out for the Huz to even listen, and he builds a car out of scrap metal with his bare hands. By the way, his whole deal is that he can fix and build almost anything. The two use the car to escape and travel to Blade Henge, where Ophelia's two friends, Lars and Lita, are hiding out, trying to come up with a plan to fight and reclaim the land. Eddie, being the great roadie he is, helps the trio by recruiting an army of soldiers, like these thick-necked dudes, some fine shit, and some bikers. Once they have enough people, he names the army
Ironhead! With an E on the end, so people know we're not messing around.
and they go on a world tour to defeat the ops and save humanity. And that's the gist of the plot. The characters in Brutal Legend are actually really good. Eddie is a great main protagonist. It's basically if Jack was swole as shit and knew how to fight demons. And the voice acting is solid, even from the celebrity cameos. The dialogue is actually funny. Some of the scenes have me giggling and grinning in my seat. It has typical 2000s humor, with goofy jokes and stereotypical cartoon characters. So every cutscene is entertaining.
Alright, nice try, lady. Or whatever you are. I'm supposed to think you're a nun, but I know you're really some kind of big ugly demon, so let's have it. Aha! Knew it! Big ugly demon.
Kinda sexy, though, in a weird way.
Anyways, let's get into the gameplay. In this game, you're only given 2 weapons, an axe and a guitar that can shock enemies. Music is a big part of gameplay, so playing solos can summon your car, or perform special attacks like the face melter, or my favorite, bring it on home. Now you're probably like, hell yeah, this is gonna be a hack and slash game where you get to drive a car, slay hooded demons, and tall fine shit. Well, yes and no. Let me explain. Brutal Legend is a hack and slash game, but it's also an open world action adventure and a real-time strategy game. The first part of the game, you're going on missions where the combat is mostly action adventure. You're ambushing people on foot while fighting the occasional boss. But once you progress further into the story, they start to show you how to manage a group of people and maintain order amongst your troops. Confused, I start scratching my head, thinking, dandruff. And also, what the hell is going on in this game? I thought I was playing as Jack Black trying to res up the fine shit. How did I become a manager? The main combat completely changes when they introduce stage battles during missions, where you recruit an army of soldiers and take them into war. This is how they work. There's these volcano-looking things with spears coming out of them. Those are your fans. You have to build a merch booth around them in order to get more fans, which allows you to recruit soldiers into battle. Once you have a bunch of merch booths and a big squad, you command them into battle, with the goal of destroying your opponent's stage. And that's pretty much the core of the gameplay now during missions. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm not really fucking with this. It's not my cup of tea. Real-time strategy has never really interested me, and I think in 2009 with games like MW2, RE5, and Left 4 Dead, that other people weren't really into it either because the devs themselves said that they tried to hide the RTS elements from the promotional stuff in fear of driving away players. Which confuses me because while doing research, I read that one of the main reasons they even made this was for the game's multiplayer mode, hoping that it would pop off like other games. I mean, there's definitely a market out there for this genre, and I can see why people would enjoy it. The overall concept of the battles is cool though, with them making it centered around music. I think it's creative, and I can see they put a lot of effort into this aspect of the gameplay. But still, I feel like I deadass got tricked into playing a genre I don't really mess with. I remember that as a kid, I didn't even finish the main story until I recently replayed it. But besides this, I pretty much enjoyed everything else about the game. Everything else is fire. Back then, the thing I enjoyed the most was my time exploring the open world of Brutal Legend. Wow! Which is super massive, like bigger than your mother. Huh? Apparently it's 40 square miles big. I don't even know if that's accurate because I'm a little retarded. I don't know numbers, but I know for sure it's bigger than the San Andreas map. And I gotta say, this has to be one of the most unique looking open worlds I've ever seen. I'm about to start yapping even more, bro. In the game's lore, there was a fire beast named Ormageddon who exploded, creating the world of Brutal Land, busting its hot chrome and fire all over the landscape. And the Titans used these materials to build the world and create music. The devs wanted to make a world based off of the imagery in the metal album covers. So, like a lot of epic, over-the-top, demonic shit. The map is hella ambitious with its locations. Each is themed to represent different styles in heavy metal. The first open area you get to explore has volcanoes, monuments in the mountains, and giant stone swords sticking out of the ground. It's supposed to be more classic metal, and this is where your allies live in the game. But it's being overtaken by the Tainted Coil faction, which is a freaky ass group of people. They use S&M as a lifestyle and a fashion choice. So literally everything they do has to be covered in leather, gags, and spikes. The Gothic area represents black metal, So the land is like a huge cemetery. Everything is haunted and spooky as hell. Broken down buildings, deformed trees, and structures with faces on them. There's a huge skull cloud in the sky that looks crazy cool. Anything Halloween themed they crammed into this place, and it's awesome. It's so detailed, it's like the most well-designed area in the game. There's a swampy jungle that's home to the Amazonian Zolia tribe, obviously inspired by the band Kiss. This place has temples, wildlife, like fire-breathing metal beasts, panthers that can shoot lasers from their eyes, that you can mount. By the way, you can mount and ride all the animals in the game. Like these boars that are half animal, half motorcycle, or these deer with chrome-spiked antlers. There's also a desert, beaches, and a snow area. I could sit here for like 20 minutes going into detail about all these locations, but the gameplay speaks for itself. They went crazy with this world when designing it, down to the little details. At the time, they were aware that every game had the dookie color palette, and they said that they wanted to avoid creating another brown/gray game. So thankfully they came through on that vision. Now when it comes to what you can actually do in this world, there are some side missions that are kinda samey. They mostly just involve fighting groups of people, but there's a couple different ones like races and stuff. Throughout the land, you'll see your homies patrolling, fighting the different factions. Relics can be found that give you points that you can use at the motor forges. This is where Ozzy Osbourne is. Speaking to him allows you to get new fits, upgrade your car, and weapons. There's a decent amount of stuff that you can do in this world, but like I said, it's kind of repetitive, so the world does feel a little underutilized. I know I was kind of just praising how ambitious the world is, but it's mostly in just how it looks. When you're exploring, there's a good amount of empty space with just hidden relics to find. There's some wildlife, but usually only a few running around. And enemies and allies would just spawn in the most random spots and start boxing. So the most you'll be doing post-story is cruising around the ancient land, listening to heavy metal while looking at the pretty scenery. By the way, the game's soundtrack has a bunch of songs from a legendary artist that I don't listen to. I usually have a section in these videos where I talk about the music, but I'm not too familiar with older rock music, so all I can tell you is it's good, and it fits perfectly with the game. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed with the soundtrack. So that was Brutal Legend. This game ain't that bad, man. The story is hilarious, the open world is nice, it's got banging music. Again, the only thing that I didn't really like was the RTS elements, but besides that, I love it. It's a short game too. The campaign is only like 5 hours long. Overall, Brutal Legend is awesome, and I think it's worth checking out. Shout out to Double Fine and Tim Schafer for making this game. Shout out to Jack Black for being Jack Black. And shout out to you for watching. This is going to be the final video of the year, man. I recently got an email from YouTube, and it said that this year we got over 11,000 subs and over 1 million total views. Shit is insane, bro.
Oh my god!
1 year ago when I made the first Dark Souls 3 video, I said, we're gonna go crazy this year, man. Not just me, you guys too, man, I promise. And we actually did, man, so I just want to say thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Aww. And the second channel too. I promise we're gonna go even crazier in 2025. That's it. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all again soon in the next video.